I had a job years ago working for Gray Line Tours, a sightseeing company, runner, which is a person that helps drivers pick up all the people at all of the hotels and motels, bring them to the central point, the Transbay Terminal, and then direct them to whatever tour bus they're going on. It was a job that didn't pay very much. There was a lady who had a coffee shop down at Fisherman's Wharf. Nice coffee, many flavors, hazelnut, you name it. I used to go over there on my break, and there was something about this lady, beautiful looking lady, who reminded me of Martin Sheen, except she's a woman. I would constantly kid and joke with her every time I walked in the door, saying, "It's Martin Sheen's daughter," constantly. It's a compliment. It sounds funny, but I knew it was coming from a great place. This must have gone on for about 6 months. One day, when I went back to the central point where Gray Line Tours takes their people, one of the gentlemen had come back from a round of pickups at Fisherman's Wharf and very enthusiastically jumped out of the vehicle and said, "Guess who I just saw down at Fisherman's Wharf? Martin Sheen." I thought, oh my gosh, where was he? He was at the Holiday Inn. I said, "Oh boy, lucky you. Man, Dave, I want to go see him." Well, I didn't think I would necessarily, but I was sent to Fisherman's Wharf not long after that to help with picking up people. I got to the Holiday Inn, and a great gentleman who works as a concierge was saying, "Hey, Steve, if you want a free cup of coffee, just go right on into the coffee shop. Help yourself." I said, "Ooh, thank you. Why not?" I walk inside the coffee shop and I noticed that there was somebody pouring a complimentary cup of coffee for themselves, another gentleman, and I just figured, well, I'm waiting in line, and as soon as this gentleman is done, then I'm going to go get one myself. I'm just standing there patiently. I see the man pushing the handle down. And then he notices me, I notice him, except not really looking at him. And I hear a gentleman ask me, "How are you doing?" I look, "Oh, hi. It's Martin Sheen. He's pouring himself a cup of coffee." I said to myself, I can't believe it. Dave was right. He wasn't lying. Martin Sheen is right here at the Holiday Inn, and now he's right in front of me, and he asked me how I was doing. And I said, "Oh, great, thank you so much." I said, "Lucky we get to have free coffee." He agrees with me. I'm so excited that I saw him, I had to, at that point, take off with the people and go back. But I couldn't believe that I also saw Martin Sheen. The next round at Fisherman's Wharf, I go down the street to the coffee shop. I see the lady who I keep on calling Martin Sheen's daughter right there. I tell her, "Guess who I saw up the street at the Holiday Inn?" She asks me, "Who's that?" I said, "Martin Sheen." She says, "Oh, right, sure." She says, "If Martin Sheen is up the street at the Holiday Inn, then you go get him right now and bring him over here." I said, "Well, great idea. I wish I could do that, but, I don't think I'll be able to do that, but I'm not kidding you." I told her, "I just saw him about an hour ago. I went in there to get a cup of coffee in the coffee shop. The concierge told me the coffee is complimentary, and he was pouring his coffee, and I can't believe I saw him. I'm so excited." Right, oh sure. She thinks I'm making this thing up. One more round of pickups at the Holiday Inn before the lunch break. We pick everybody up. I wave goodbye to the driver. He says, you can stay at Fisherman's Wharf and I'll come and get you after lunch. I said, oh great. I begin to take my walk from the Holiday Inn over to that coffee shop. Who's walking around the block right in front of me, about a half a block? Martin Sheen, again, just taking a stroll. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, here he is again. So I go up to him. Well, I'm a little nervous, but he did see me about an hour ago and we exchanged wonderful words. And I said, hey, hello again. And he looks over, he says, oh, hey, how are you? Like that. I go, boy, I can't, what a trip. I said, I'm just, funny, I saw you an hour ago and now I'm taking a walk and you're taking a walk or something like that. He goes, oh yeah, what do you know? And I realized as he was right there and I was with him, I was on my way to the coffee shop to see Martin Sheen's daughter, as I call her. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to tell him this story. He's going to think I'm out of my mind. But he was walking and talking with me, and none of us were in a hurry. And I said, you know, you're not going to believe this. He says, what's that? I said, there's a coffee shop that I go to down the street every day. And I know this is going to sound ridiculous to you, but the lady that owns it is a very beautiful lady. And I know this sounds ridiculous, but she reminds me of a feminine version of you. I know this sounds insane, and I'm always calling her Martin Sheen's daughter. And he listened. He wasn't judging me or thinking I'm out of my mind. I said, I know that sounds ridiculous. He says, really? Like that. He believed it, and he wasn't questioning it, which was amazing because I thought he's going to think I'm out of my mind. And I said, as we're walking, and I'm looking down the street right from where we were walking, the place is only about a block and a half down there. And I thought, you know, I said, as you and I are taking this walk, I'm actually heading right over there as we speak to get myself another cup of coffee. And I just saw this lady about an hour ago or so, and I told her that I saw you at the Holiday Inn and you and I were getting complimentary coffee at the same time. And she doesn't believe me. And she said to me, if Martin Sheen is up the street at the Holiday Inn, you go get him and bring him down here. And I thought, well, how am I going to do that? I said, well, you know, this is insane. I said, if you want, I'm heading down there right now. If you came with me, this would be just unbelievable. And he listened and he said, huh. He says, where is this place? I said, it's right about a block and a half down this street right there. And he does this. He looks at his watch for a moment. He goes, all right. Apparently he had enough time, not all the time in the world, but he had enough time to go about a block and a half down and do this with me. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is unreal. So we were walking and talking, and he said, I'll tell you what. He says, we'll surprise her. Why don't you go in first? And then we'll kind of take it from there. And then when you come back out, I'll see you come out, and then I will proceed to walk on in with you. I said, oh man, this is great. And I'm nervous because he's an actor and I don't know what I'm doing. But I walked back in there, and there she was. I said, now you want me to go up the street to the Holiday Inn and go get Martin Sheen? Yeah, I want you to go do that. I said, okay. I said, you know what? I think I will do that. I think I'll go get him right now. Oh, right, sure. You go do that. I walk out the front. He's hiding sort of behind the building next to a parking lot. He sees me. He nods his head. And I go like this. I walk back in. I said, well, you wanted me to go get Martin Sheen for you? Yeah, I did. I said, well, you know what? I'm going to get him for you right now. She says, oh, right, you go do that. He slowly walks in. She's not believing anything I'm saying. She's turning her head, fixing drinks, thinks I'm out of my mind. And I said, well, just before he walked in the door, I said, well, here he is, Martin Sheen. Then he proceeds to walk in. He walks right in. He goes, hi, how are you doing? And she's like, oh my gosh. She could not believe that he was appearing in her coffee shop right in front of her. And she tells him, she says, you have no idea. For the last 6 months, this man has been calling me Martin Sheen's daughter, and then he tells me today that you were at the Holiday Inn, and I didn't believe him, and I can't believe you're here. I am so blown away. And he was saying, well, it's nice to meet you. And she goes, oh my gosh. And they met each other, and everything went very well. And then he went along his merry way, and I walked with him a little bit farther. Thank you.